That deal, we got out, got it under contract within an hour and a half of her calling and renovated the house. And that was going to be $100,000 net profit. Before TV, we wanted to net $35,000 on every flip. Those numbers have now gone up to over 50 for the net profit. They see you on TV, that starts the circle. They start looking for you in other places. They look for you on social media. They look for you on your Google. They just research who you are, and then the phone call comes in. When people see you on TV, the credibility goes through the roof compared to the person that's just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall to see what sticks. It's like clockwork. Calls are coming in because that's when people are watching TV. When the TV commercials come on, people were calling us to get together. Agents were calling us. Other investors are calling us. Construction workers are calling us. People are calling us wanting to connect. When the people see you on TV, they think they're coming to hang out with like somebody on a Flip This House TV show. You're going to get sent a lot of more deals by other investors, especially out-of-town wholesalers, when they find out that you're the one on TV because you're the local expert. Putting the person on the TV commercial that's going to go meet the seller, that was an absolute game changer because...
So what if you guys could shut off your cold calling, your text messaging, and every outbound message and still have more deals coming in without having to work so hard? That's what we're going to be talking about today. It's exactly what Rick has been able to do. So today you are going to meet Rick, who has cut his team in half. He makes $15,000 more per deal. And based on what he shared with me before we started, I think that number's going to go up. He'll share why. Instead of closing 1 in about 50 leads with some of the outbound marketing, he's closing closer to 1 in 10. We have seen as little as 1 in 3 from TV, but usually about 1 in 5 and 1 in 10 is pretty close. And so Rick has been able to, has to go through way less leads now. And he's done all of that from TV commercials. So if you guys want to stay competitive in real estate investing, you have to do things like this. You have to do things that other people are not doing. TV is very untapped. It's something that has so much power and something that a lot of people aren't doing. I think because they think it's too expensive, they think it's too hard, they think they have to be a big business. There's a lot of reasons that people don't do TV. And we're going to show you today why TV could easily be something that you can add to your arsenal. So if you guys are new here, don't know who I am, I've been in the business for 24 years. 13 years ago, I started TV commercials for myself. And now I love helping other real estate investors with TV commercials and other lead generation. So you're going to hear from Rick how he went from chasing leads to attracting leads, how he became a local authority, which completely transformed his business. And so if you're tired of hustle-based marketing and ready for something that builds credibility, consistency, and converts, you are in the right place. And stick around until the end. I'm going to reward you guys with something. I'm going to give you guys a free marketing audit. And the number one thing you can do is to dial in your marketing. So we'd love to help you do that. If you want to stay till the end, we will give you a free marketing audit for coming here and supporting this. And I'm also going to tell you how to get into one of our masterminds, and you can get into those for free potentially. So those have been super valuable to me over the years, and I love doing those, and I'll tell you later how you can get into those. So let's get into it. Rick Howell, what is up, my man?
How you doing, brother? Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to talking to everybody.
Yeah, such a good dude, man. I love talking to you every time I talk to you. Such a great story. So let's just dive into it. Got a ton of questions here for you.
Yep.
So let's talk about what your business looked like before TV. So tell us what it looked like before TV and tell us the transition to where you are now.
Got it. We got started in real estate in 2009. The long way, coming from a construction background, jumped right into rehabbing because that's what we knew. I didn't know anything about wholesaling or any of that stuff until years later. And we started all the marketing channels that you read about in the books, the bandit signs, the door knocking, the driving for dollars, anything that was low cost, even before bandit signs. It was anything you could do to generate a lead for free except for gas and time. And we did that for years and then evolved. There's layers to this. We evolved into the bandit signs, and then we learned about direct mail, and then we learned about with the big turn, direct mail for years, but the big turn was when COVID happened. We went into more way outbound and cold calling, and then we learned about text messaging. And we thought we hit it, right? We're like, hey, it's a numbers game. We're calling, I think at one point, 3,000 to 4,000 people a day. We're texting 3,000 people a day. Man, we can't go wrong here because all you have to do is call a whole crap load of people and eventually you're going to get one, right? And at first that was cool because we were doing deals. We were making money. We were doing deals. I didn't realize how much overseeing that process and doing that was taking my life, my son, everybody in our organization. It was just absolutely miserable. But I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So prior to TV, it was three outbound dialers. We were doing, I think, 10,000, yeah, 10,000 direct mail pieces, just postcards a month. And we were text messaging. I believe we were text messaging 2,500 people a day is what our marketing strategy looked like on top of the regular Facebook and things like that.
Yeah.
A
Wow.
lot of money, a lot of money.
So a lot of work. So you were
Lots.
obviously getting deals, the dialing, the texting, cold calling, all those are typically low cost per lead,
Yes.
but they take a lot of time and effort, right? So let's transition over to when you started TV. What were the changes you made when you started TV, and how did that evolve into where you are now?
So when I ran across you guys, the thought was it just made sense. I didn't know anything about TV. I didn't even it's right in front of your face every single day, right? I didn't think nothing about it. And I don't remember where or we met at a mastermind, right? And it was introduced about inbound leads. And I'm thinking, well, inbound, that's direct mail, right? And I started looking at the two. And then I saw a marketing piece of yours, and I was interested. And the credibility come from other people's in our network, right? Somebody else had recommended Tony, the TV guy. So when I got on the phone with Noah, I'm a guy that was skeptical, right? There's so many marketing things out here. Everybody's selling their next service, and I was just kind of like, man, can it really be that great? Can it really be that great? And got on the phone with Noah, and I'm a person that if you do this, this will be the result, right? Everything that Noah said, here's what's going to happen. It's going to take 60 to 90 days, maybe even up to 6 months to get traction. It's going to create local expert. You're going to become the local expert. People are going to start recognizing you here and there, all these things. Everything that Noah walks you through on that initial call, sure enough, it happened, right? So fast forward 90 days, we're getting deals and we're getting good deals. But the main thing that I noticed, Tony, was the conversations we were having with people. So went from the mindset of trying to prove your worth to somebody, like I can prove to help you, to these people are genuinely calling you because they need your help. So you see a lot of people online, everybody's teaching you to convince NLP strategies, persuade your seller, all this stuff. Man, our sales pitch is, hey, what's got you wanting to sell today, Tony? And it's just a general conversation of solving a pain for a seller. Either you can or you cannot. Fast forward that, it wasn't 6 months, brother, that we had gotten rid of. I think the first thing to go was text messaging. Now, when we first got rid of text messaging, I kind of was like, let me see here. I was giving credit to the fact that all the SMS, the systems, they all started blocking text messaging. I'm like, man, it can't be that great. Okay, let's get rid of that. Well, then the leads kept coming, and it's been a year. March 3rd, it was a year of doing commercials. So I'm saying we're almost a year and a half, and it wasn't 6 months, I don't think, not much long after that. I said, you know what? Let's scrap the cold calling. So now the pain changed into what do I do with my VA, right? So my VA turned into Grace. And now she's my admin assistant and she's doing much bigger and better things. We scrapped all of our outbound marketing, including postcards, including everything we do for marketing other than the social media presence. And we have an office with a 40-foot sign on each side of it that says Toledo's House Buyers. That's the only marketing we do is TV commercials and the sign on our building. That's it.
That's amazing. So you had three dialers, you had another VA, so you had four people
Yep.
managing all that. So you
Yep.
cut that down to one, and
Yep.
that one person was able to take other things off your plate outside of marketing. And now you've got TV commercials that are bringing leads in, and you
Yes.
not having to reach out to people. And not only that, it sounds like the conversations were a lot easier.
Oh my gosh, we just my son and I. Well, first off, let me disclose to everybody how we operate. We're 100% belly to belly company. We're a lifestyle driven company. We don't focus on doing 100 leads a month or any of that. We focus on quality leads. So our constraints now, before TV, are we wanted to net $35,000 on every flip. We expect our rehabs to go 6 to 7 weeks total purchase to on market and 3 to 4 weeks beyond that for sale. Those numbers have now gone up to over 50 for the net profit. And our timelines, all the other stuff stayed the same as far as the construction process. But our profits have gone up. Our closed deals have gone up, and the reason they've gone up is because you're generally getting people that are calling you because they need your help. No more of calling the absentee owner that you're hoping is behind on tax or whatever. The people that you're hoping need to sell, these people are calling you because they need your help.
Yeah, so the outbound compared to inbound. So outbound is you saying, "Hey, do you need to sell?" and convincing them that you're the solution for them. If you're
Yes.
inbound, like TV, so TV's already built that credibility because
Yes.
people, when you think when you're on TV that you're already credible, you're a bigger company, you're spending potentially tens of thousands of dollars a month on your TV commercials, you're putting your face out there, so
Yep.
you must be credible, right? Want to get motivated sellers that nobody knows about? Introducing 10x TV. If you want to create credibility in your market, find deals that nobody else knows about, and crush your competition, you need to check into TV commercials. It is the new buzz in the real estate investing industry since we introduced it several years ago. I've been using TV commercials myself for the last 12 years and it's absolutely crushed it. So if you want to learn how to get on TV and to do something that little to no people are doing right now, go to claimmymarket.com. Again, that's claimmymarket.com. We usually only work with 2 investors per market, so if you're interested, reach out to us and book a call to see if you can claim your market before anybody else does. Now back to the show. Tell us about that. So when you had conversations with people that you got from text messaging and cold calling, and then the difference between that and when you went in someone's living room and had a conversation with them and they'd already seen you on TV, tell me the difference between that.
Yes, number one, we're a local brand, and that all came from the recommendation of you guys. We went all in on our local brand, right? Right here in Northwest Ohio. I don't do a deal farther away than 25 minutes from my house ever. Just don't do it. The the TV turned into, well, we want to confirm. Now they're looking for you on your Google, right? And they're checking, they see you on TV, that starts the circle. They start looking for you in other places. They look for you on social media, they look for you on your Google, they just research who you are, and then the phone call comes in. But when people see you on TV, the credibility goes through the roof compared to the person that's just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall to see what sticks. We've got people in our market, and now mind you, the market I'm in is the number one market in the United States of America, right? Every wholesaler, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds are in this market trying to do deals.
So when you
The
say number one, you're talking about like competitive.
No, the number one real, like if you look it up, what's the number one real estate market in the country? Toledo, Ohio will probably, they just did a article on it in Forbes or something. Like it's the number one market in the nation because in addition to it's the most affordable in the nation. So you've got I bet you 50 wholesalers every 2 days call us trying to get us to buy their houses. The difference is when you're a belly to belly local brand and you sit down across from somebody in their kitchen, you're going to trump anybody that's coming from out of town because people want to work with the local authority, the local person that they know can help them, rather than somebody sending a false offer in the mail hoping for the best, right?
Mhm.
So that alone has doubled our numbers, and we're only halfway through the year.
Yeah. So I don't disagree with you. I think belly to belly is great. We do belly to belly too. I'm in person. We actually do have a lot of people that do TV commercials in other markets and still do
Okay.
succeed. So there is actually still that possibility of doing it remote. But you're right. If you are in person and you are belly to belly and you compare that to someone over the phone trying to make an offer and and
Mhm.
and try to get a deal, if they're looking at both of them, chances are they probably are going to go with belly to
Yeah.
belly as long as you're within the vicinity of the offer of, other people that are, even out of town. So,
Right. The recommendation that you guys gave of putting the person on the TV commercial that's going to go meet the seller, that was an absolute game changer because people are like, "Oh, you're the people we saw on TV," and it's really a weird feeling because we show up at every appointment and we know the people are in a funny situation. Whatever, however you're there, that you're there because they're in a messed up situation. It's like 9 times out of 10 they instantly like you because the same people that are walking up to their front door are the ones that I saw at their on their TV channel last night. It's really different and it's really strange, but it's really good.
yeah. So one of the reasons that people don't do TV is they think it's way too expensive. You don't have to share how much you're spending if you don't want to. But just tell me the difference between like your perception of what
Yep.
you thought TV was going to be compared to what you actually had to spend.
Yep. When you first start investing in real estate, you start off with a scarce mindset because most of us start off with nothing, right? We get into real estate with start wholesaling with no money out of pocket. That's kind of the way the transition starts as you get into real estate. And me too. If you'd have told me we'd have been spending thousands of dollars a month on TV commercials 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I would have said, no, I can't afford that. Right. But when I saw what it eliminated, the pain and the stress and the lifestyle that it eliminated, the money, I'd have to double check, but I think we're at a much 5x plus, maybe even more than that, probably more than that by the end of the year, return on our TV commercials. But the lifestyle, I mean, just imagine if you're running VAs and you're running all these outbound strategies and you have to watch and you're calling and you're hoping for the best every time the phone rings. Just imagine sitting back and being able to track. You know that your calls are going to come between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock every single day, or usually between 5 and 8 o'clock p.m. It's like clockwork. Calls are coming in because that's when people are watching TV. So not only did the money and income go up, but the lifestyle is just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's what I call return on time. A lot of people talk about
Yeah.
return on investment. I love return on time. I love, 24 years in the business. I love estimating if I'm going to put a certain amount of time out into something, what am I going to get back out of it, right? So
Right.
things like Outbound, my team could do that, we could do that all day long, but how much is that brain power? How much is that, from a time perspective? Being able to put something out there and have people coming to you is just the ultimate return on time.
Right.
Especially with TV, because once you get it dialed in and you work with someone that knows how to dial it in and you get it dialed in, you can have your commercial working for many, many months, sometimes even over a year to 2 years without really having to change anything. So transition into a little bit of um, the leads that come in. So
Yeah.
obviously text messaging and cold calling provide a certain type of people or certain type of leads. Are you seeing the same type of sellers calling you, or is it, are they different types of sellers that are calling you in different reasons?
So you're getting all the above. What's happening now, though, is you're getting a deeper pain, right? So when you're outbound and you're call, you're texting whoever, absentee owners, pre-foreclosures, whatever, you're texting them hoping that their pain's bad enough, right? Well, when they call in off your TV commercials, their pain's bad enough. All you need to do is find out if you're a solution for them and really solve that pain. We don't get into numbers. I mean, we'll touch lightly on if they have an expectation, but we don't get into numbers until well after talking to the parent, really having solid rapport. You don't have to because they're calling you for an absolute reason. So now what we're noticing is there's a lot more. There's a lot more of the big one recently this year is inherited because people they're in a bad mental spot. Number one, a lot of times recently their parents or whoever had passed, they don't have money sitting around to fix up the house. That's a big one. And in our market personally, the recent one is the local taxes, property taxes went through the moon in January. So we're also seeing a lot of the mom and pop landlords that never raised their taxes over the years, and that's the big one too. So they're still charging $750 a month when it should be at $1,500 a month. Property taxes went up, rent never went up, and they don't have the capital to fix up the house, and that's just it's a laydown for us nowadays.
Yeah, so I just wrote this down. So there's no list that somebody can text and cold call that says their taxes went up and they're pissed off, right?
No,
So you're
no,
hitting people that aren't on lists, and
yeah,
then inherited. So we get calls quite often where we're like they're like, so we had someone pass away and someone told us that we should call you. And
yep,
over the years, we thought like maybe there's people I know that someone told them about me. But then I realized as we're getting helping clients with TV that people are seeing commercials, and when someone says I inherited a house or whatever the situation is, oh hey, I saw that professional home buyers on TV. You should check them out.
yep,
And then and the thing that sucks about that is usually Google gets that credit because they go and they Google you,
yep,
and then
yep.
sometimes they don't say, hey, I saw you on TV, or my friend saw you on TV and told me about you. So that's another great point, is that you're hitting people that are still on those lists, but you're also hitting people that are not on those lists, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a big deal. So you talked about credibility, and before we came on, you were just talking all about credibility, about how credible it's made you guys. When was
Yeah.
like the first, like when you really started seeing that credibility? Like when, like tell us about what that was like and how you knew that people were like understanding that you guys were so much more credible than when you were just texting and cold calling.
When the regular marketplace was starting to connect. So for all these years, I've been the face. And, when you first start, they tell you, go out, build relationships with wholesalers and build relationships with agents and go talk to brokers and all that stuff. That's been our common. I mean, it's called doing the work and going through the suck, right? It was normal real estate investing to me. I didn't realize that it sucked as much as it did, right? But I was constantly networking and meeting people and coffee shops and everything that you're taught to do as a new real estate investor. We did that. And I'm not saying we still don't do that now, but what I noticed is when the TV commercials come on, people were calling us to get together. Agents were calling us. Other investors are calling us. Construction workers are calling us. People are calling us wanting to connect. Private money lenders has gone through the ceiling, right? The credibility in the private money lending aspect. Oh my gosh, that alone. I mean, we've always had private money lending since, for quite a few years, but it's the opportunity to take that avenue has doubled in the past year and a half. So I would say once the phone calls outside of the clientele, the clients are always going to be there. The clients are there. But when the other vendors, the other individuals, how does that work? People that want to learn how to do real estate investing, that was another one too. So we learned from your guys' guidance and from obviously another coach. We started leveraging the TV commercials to start doing in-person meetups. So the in-person meetups, we used to do one every couple months just to kind of stay in front of wholesalers and give a little bit of value and hopefully get a few deals over the year. Now we do them every month, and we've driven more deals, private money, and coaching students out of the local meetups, all because when the people see you on TV, they think they're coming to hang out with like somebody on a Flip This House TV show, right? And you really have to be humble about that and treat it that way because whether you think you are or whether you think you aren't, you are the local expert and people will treat you that way. And it's pretty humbling, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, speaking of private money, tell us about the guy that you met, I believe, in the gym, the private money lender. I'd love for you to tell that story.
Yeah, with yes, I do. Refresh my memory. When did I share that one with you? I remember that incident.
I think
Um,
you shared with me or Noah. It was the guy you met in the sauna, I think.
oh yeah. Guy come up to me. Yep. He owns a recruiting company, and I did not know this guy from Adam. Did never seen him before. Didn't know him. He knew us, and I was in the sauna. We're sitting there in our briefs, right, and we're talking. He says, "Hey, you're that guy that I see on TV." And I get kind of like shy when people like, 'cause it's kind of embarrassing, right? And I'm like,
Especially in your underwear, right?
yeah, sitting there in my drawers, right? And I said, yeah, that's my son and I. He says, well, what do you do? And I said, well, we're residential redevelopers, right? We focus on helping clients get out of sticky situations, and in turn, we focus on improving Toledo one house at a time. He says, really, how's that work? And I mean, again, lay down. And I said, well, we have private money lenders that we work with. We invest their money into our real estate deals. And by doing that, we're able to pay a double digit return backed by real estate. Bam. Well, Rick, I own a recruiting company, and my partners and I, we've been deep diving into try how to invest in real estate. And the websites that he was clicking on, he was talking about looking at syndications, and he was asking about my experience with syndications. I said, brother, I don't have any experience with syndications. I know what they are and I know how they work. I said, ours is just a small family-owned business, and we try to keep 1.5 to 2 million busy for our lenders at all times. But it's all 1 to 2 lenders per deal. And he's like, really? So I took it away from him, sent him our private money lender credibility packet, and he freed up and still to this day wants to invest anywhere from 750 to 1.3 with him and his partners in residential real estate deals for rehabs in Toledo, Ohio. And he was really intrigued by we've pivoted back over the past few months because the rates are coming down. So now we're getting very heavy on the buy and holds again, which we haven't been for a while with the Burr model. And he's really interested in investing in our buy and holds because we can hold them for a 4 to 6 month and make more money. And he wants to help us build out that portfolio by using all his money at a eight to 10% return.
That's amazing because not only is he lending on more deals that you could potentially make more money on, but
Yeah.
allowing you to keep more properties. And if
Yeah.
you guys have heard me talk about burring properties, we try and keep about 25% of what we buy, give or take. And I'm telling you, we have 6 properties right now we're getting ready to put on the market that I've owned at least a year. I think a few of them have owned at least, 4 to 5 years. But even the ones that I've owned like 3 years, we are putting them on the market. There was one, I couldn't believe it. We couldn't sell it like 5 years ago for like, I want to say 80 to 90,000. And we'd up refinancing and keeping it. And my team just told me that we could put it on the market for 180,000, right?
Nice.
Now, obviously, COVID drove that up. So the next 5 years, you may not see that kind of appreciation. But even if it was like 120,000 to make an
Yeah.
extra 30,000 on a house and then be able to 1031 exchange that
Yeah.
property, um, gosh, the wealth you can build from that. So private lenders helping you do more deals and potentially keep more properties could be a game changer just by itself, right?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Cool. So I've got some more questions. So I have more questions for Rick. But if you guys want to stick around, but if you've heard enough and this resonates with you and you want to become the authority in your market and do something that 99% of investors are not doing, go to 10xtv.co to apply and see if your market's available. And again, we are going to do a marketing audit for free for you if you go and apply, and we have a conversation for you. So go do that right now. All right, so let's talk about profitability and ROI. So you said you're making about $15,000 more per deal.
Yep.
We've seen that in our business where we make typically more money. It depends on the year, of course. Sometimes we make a little more money per deal than our other marketing channels, and sometimes it's exponentially more. But typically, it's more pretty much every year. I think every year that we've tracked it, we've actually had our clients say that as well. That man, we were making 20,000 before, now we're making 30 to 35. So what do you think it is for you? Do you think it's better sellers, easy to negotiate? Do you think less competition because you're the only one called? Do you think it's the trust factor? What would you say is the reason for that?
I think it's a little bit of all of it. I think a lot of it is our negotiation and sales process is very vanilla. Because by the time you get to their house and you've made it past the initial phone call to find out if you're a good fit to work together, it's just what's got you wanting to sell and how can I help you? And by the time they've called you, it's so much different because their pain is there. Their pain is at the top. It's right there. You don't have to really uncover as much once they're calling you. And by doing that, and like I said, the a lot of people that are calling now, the inherited ones, the inherited people that are inherited, they know that in their mindset, they're getting it's a gift basically to whatever they can get. And we tee it up a very specific way. So when we set up when the way our offer's coming, we tell everybody, I'd say, hey Tony, that I appreciate the opportunity, and we look at about 10 houses a week, and we have the resources to purchase one. So there's a 90% chance that this might not be a fit to work together, but there's a 10% chance there is. So let me put some numbers together and see if I can create a win-win situation for both of us. And if that works for you, great. If not, we'll talk about other options. And that's been the key is we provide 3 options, maybe 4 for each client. We provide what it qualifies for cash. We share the story of what it would talk about if we were to put it on the market. And then we have what we call lazy wholesaling, where we have an auction team that we work with. So we lay out 3 options for them and let them pick. And 90% of the time they pick the cash offer.
So when you do that, you do that for all leads, but do you feel like because of the TV commercial leads, obviously you're making more money. So do you think it's the credibility that you're able to negotiate better rates? Do you think there's less people going in the appointments or that
Yes.
they're scheduling appointments with?
I think there's definitely less people they're scheduling appointments with, and the tool that you gave us, leaving the brochure behind once we get there was a game changer as well. I mean, this TV and like just that tool alone, I bet you that's increased our business too. Just that flyer that you gave us, and what that for those that don't know what that flyer is, we share a little bit of literature when we leave, so they have something to keep on their kitchen table of who we are and what we do and how we can serve them compared to other people that they may be talking to. Because a lot of times, if they're talking to you as a home buyer, they're probably talking to other people as well. And our hope is they're talking to somebody out of town.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. I forget about that brochure. I need to start giving that to more people. So,
Game changer, man.
yeah, cool.
Right
How have people
here.
treat? There you go. There you go. Love it. So there's those little things, right? So those little things
Yeah.
you have to do with sellers to kind of win them over and help win the deal. So. How do you like when did you start seeing people treat you differently? Was it pretty quick? I mean, obviously there's sellers, there's agents, there's investors, there's even contractors you deal with. Like just tell us about like the first 30 to 90 days. Like I'm guessing you saw that pretty quickly and how did that change the way people talk to you?
First 30 to 90 days, I would say you're going to bring the haters out of the woodwork, right? The agents are going to agents need to be educated, right? At first, you're going to get oh, we see you guys on TV, that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, thank you, whatever. That's not your clientele anyways. But now fast forward that a year and a half, those same agents we're getting asked to come educate brokerages. I just did an event the other day with 100 agents called the Women's Council of Realtors or something like that, educating agents on how they could leverage real estate investors in their client base. So at the beginning, it was like, oh, you're on TV. You didn't really get much respect for it. But fast forward that a year later, now those same people that were maybe giving you a little bit of
Crap.
slack, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Those same people are wanting to have coffee with you and find out how you do business, right? Um, the agent was slow and the other investors. So you're going to get a lot of other investors that are going to want to partner with you and start feeding you deals. Now, it's not to say a lot of times they may not be the greatest deals, but you're going to get sent a lot of more deals by other investors, especially out of town wholesalers, when they find out that you're the one on TV because you're the local expert.
Yep. So transition a little bit into this still goes along with credibility, your meetup groups. So we have
Yeah.
some real estate and actually decent amount of real estate investors that we've helped with TV. One in particular did not have much traction with his meetup group, and once he got on TV, it seemed like it just started really growing. And he said he went from like doing maybe a few deals per year from that meetup group to all of a sudden he's bringing in an extra $1 million per
Yeah.
year just from that meetup group, and he can attribute like a lot of it to TV commercials and the credibility. So it
Yep.
sounds like you're leveraging that too in your market with meetups and coaching programs and things of that nature. So
Yep.
we have a couple people that are on here that are clients running TV right now. And maybe obviously for those that could be running in the future, how did you utilize TV commercials with your meetup and tell us all of the benefits of your meetup group so everybody understands that.
Great question. So initially it was so in our little town of Toledo, it's small. There's probably 300,000, if that. And for years, ever since, I started in real estate, it's not a big place where people collaborate. It's a very in a bubble type. People aren't going out of their way to help people or collaborate or do deals together. Even in the real estate investing world, it just does people, it's the opposite of collaboration. And I've been pushing back on that for years. So when a couple years ago, I don't remember what market I was in, but somebody was doing meetups. And I said, well, let me try that. What's that look like? So I got on meetup.com and I started, it's called the Toledo Real Estate Investing Community. No big deals. And people started joining it, right? So one day I said, you know what, I'm gonna have an event. And I used to teach for a real estate education company. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a portion of this, what I used to teach, and I'm gonna do a meetup and I'm gonna teach something. I think it was how to raise private money or something. I had no idea, no rhyme or reason. And about 20 people showed up. And I said, okay, this is kind of cool. So pretty soon I noticed we were up to about 30 people and I was doing them consistently every single month. And then I tried to go more aggressive and do them every other week. I don't recommend that. It'll burn you the heck out.
Mhm.
So we backed off to once every 30 days. And then I stopped during the summer, January, February, or wait, July, June, July, August. I back off completely, start back up again in September. And I noticed we were starting to get wholesalers showing up, and this was with no structure. I was just literally teaching one topic, a little 15-minute Q&A at the end, trying to help it just value. If I feel I'm an expert in rehabbing houses and finding deals, I would just answer questions for 15, 20 minutes at the end, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, the group on Meetup kept growing, and we'd get a wholesaler from say 45 minutes away, Sandusky, or we'd get people coming from that weren't necessarily from here. And we started doing deals with these people. I became a buyer for some of these people. And it turned into, I bet you, maybe four to five deals a year I'd say 4 to 5 deals a year, but in our constraints, they were at that time, it was like 35,000 plus. So that was really good money. When we started doing TV commercials, now we have people calling us weekly, asking us, when's our next meetup? How can I get involved in your meetup? How can I get involved? How can you teach me how to do real estate? And it's because they see you on TV. They realize they go to the local RIAs. Well, the RIAs, in my opinion, are not as valuable as someone that's actually out in the business hammering out every single day. We consider ourselves operators, and people want to come be a part of somebody that's doing things in a big way. And when they see you on TV, they see you on the social media, they see you have a meetup group, now they just want to be part of what you're doing. So you turn around, we've leveraged that. So now when we do the meetups, what we focus on is teaching people how to be professional deal finders. So every single meetup we do, we're teaching something, whether it be how to talk to a seller, how to do driving for dollars, something that can add value to how they can find the best deals out there, with us hoping to be the buyer on the back end.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing is you teach them how to do it and some charge. Are you charging right now for any
No, not for the
coaching?
meetup. Oh, for the coaching, yes, but not for the meetup.
Okay, you do charge for coaching. So that's
Yeah.
the great thing about a meetup. There's a lot of different benefits to it. You can charge sponsors, pay for or make money on the event. You can pitch coaching. You can have them bring deals to you. And if you're coaching them, or if you're even just talking and speaking to them for free, what happens? They're going to bring the deal to you first, most likely,
Yeah.
especially if you help them find it. And
Yeah.
especially if they're a newer investor that doesn't know how to do the deal, right?
Yeah.
So the client that I was telling you about, what he does is he will teach people, and I think he does charge. And I don't know if he tells them that they need to bring him to him. Actually, I know two people that do this. One actually splits the profits on those deals
Okay.
for the first 6 months, and the other one just, I believe, just teaches. And of course, because they don't know how to do the deal, and his pitch is find the deal and we will do the deal for you. So you bring in the deal, he will help you dispo it. You can use his list. And his pitch is if you try and wholesale that yourself with your list, which is usually nothing for them,
Yeah.
you might make $10,000. He's like, our average wholesale deal is $25,000 to $30,000. So
Nice.
you'll probably make more even if we split that fee. And that's how he gets people to bring deals to him. It's pretty
Nice.
genius, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
yeah, yeah. Any other opportunities or any other things that have come from that? Do you have like contractors calling you
Yep.
um, to do business with you? Do you have vendors? Do you have title companies? Do you have bankers? Like anybody else that contacts you outside of, sellers and wholesalers?
Yes, 100%, all of it. Um, we get calls now from every home inspection company in the city. We get agents. Agents want to be part of what you're doing. A lot of people get more interested in real estate investing. And when you're building a local brand, people that know me locally, I'm just a construction worker. I mean, I've been an electrician since 1996, right? Once they know you're just a normal guy, normal person, and you've evolved into this real estate investor, it's not that you're like better than anybody or anything, but people are like, wow, I remember when he was building buildings and all of a sudden he's doing this. People are interested, right? And they want to find out how you got started or how you got in, or lenders want to know more. Lenders is the big one, private and traditional, because now you're no longer the person knocking on the door hoping that you can get a bank to do a refi on a Burr model when you're first getting started. Now you got people competing over you to do your business, and everybody wants to sell. So when they see you on TV, whether you're a high, I don't know, I guess it doesn't really matter how much money you make, whether you're at this level or you're this level, the lenders and other people, other vendors see you as being at this level. No matter how much money you're making, no matter how many deals you're doing, nobody knows how many deals we do. We don't do a high volume of deals. If we do 25, 24 rehabs in a year, that's a phenomenal year for us, right? But they don't know you're not doing 100 deals a year. They don't know you're not making $1 million a month because you're on TV. They think you're the don of the whole city.
Yeah, and that's the thing is perception's a big thing, and it's not all about the amount of deals you do. I
Right.
tell that people all the time, and there's I was having a conversation with someone and they were like, we found the perfect amount of deals that we want to do. And it was like 50. They're like, when we were doing 80, it was like we needed this many more people, these many, all these other moving parts. He's like, we figured out if we do 50 deals a year, we actually make more money than if we do 80 deals a year and
Right.
we have a better lifestyle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And if you do your numbers, I mean, if you're doing 24 deals and make 50 grand a pop, and you said before we got on this Zoom, you've got a couple big deals that you're getting ready to close. Tell me if you don't mind telling about those deals.
I don't mind sharing them, but I don't want to jinx myself. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the way they're supposed to go, the way they're structured to go. If we had one, it's going to close Friday. And full disclosure, how we got it, she was in foreclosure. It was going into foreclosure. We had 21 days to get the deal done. And she saw the TV commercial, went to the website came to me. We were at the house within 30 minutes of the lead coming through. That's the key takeaway. If anybody takes anything away from this whole Zoom, it's speed to lead. When that lead comes through, if you get on the phone within 5 minutes would be the best. But the faster you can get a hold of the person and faster you can get in front of them is an absolute game changer, right? So anyways, that deal, we got it under contract within an hour and a half of her calling and renovated the house, and that was going to be $100,000 net profit. Well, the appraisal decided to give me a pushback, right? And they appraised it at $30,000. They appraised it at list price, but we had an offer 25 over list price, and with a $10,000 appraisal gap. So make a long story short, the appraisal appraised it low, so it's going to sell at 200, which is still $10,000. Anyway, we're going to net $76,000 on that one. It was supposed to be 100, and we were not going to fight back on the appraisal. I could care less. It's still a great deal. Fast forward that, we've got deals now. When Noah talked about, you're going to start seeing bigger deals on like the perimeter areas of where you normally do business, 100% spot on. We've got 3 really great deals right now. All of them are on the outskirts of Toledo where we live. And one of them is a purchase price of $140,000, $135,000. We're going to be in it 55, maybe 60. And it's going to go on the market at $299 with a comp that just sold about a quarter mile down the street on a much smaller lot. This is on an acre with no pole barn. This one has a pole barn half the size of the house. Sold for $329,000. So we did the numbers. I'm very conservative at everything I do. So we did the numbers at $299. But if that pushes up to $320 to $330, that could very well be $100,000 to $130,000 profit. And we've never seen anything like that in 15 years. Now there's another one that's in the outskirt of Toledo. This one came through, and this was a $15,000 purchase. There's going to be about 90 in it, total reno at 90 grand. And it's going to go on the market at $199 with the hopes of selling it for $210 to maybe $220, depending on, it's a very small desired area, but $210 will be the number we're shooting for.
And that'll be about 100,000 as well?
That'll be about 100 to 115, depending on the aggressiveness of my son, which is the listing agent.
And that's crazy because you're used to $35,000, which is still good.
Yeah.
$35,000 profit in pretty small towns is actually still really good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
We've never seen anything like that. Now, for everybody to understand, those are bigger rehabs. Those aren't our little 6-week things, right? Those are probably going to be more of 10 week, maybe 12 full renos before it goes on the market. But I'll double the timeline when you're quadrupling the profit any day of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. What would you say to people that are relying mostly on outbound marketing? What would you tell them right now?
Get educated on TV. I'd say try it. I'm not going to tell anyone how to spend their money. I'm telling people that the most important thing, in my opinion, of what you can do is have a conversation with Noah. Let him share with you the journey of how it's going to go, because that's how it's gone for us, right? And I can promise you, some people I know that have cold callers, big teams of cold callers, man, like big teams of cold callers and texters and all these things. We're a lifestyle design. I call it lifestyle by design. We're just a small family-owned business. There's only my son and my sister that are employees and a team of amazing contractors. That's how we want it. Our lifestyle now has been, I mean, we have structure, but we pretty much have the time freedom that we choose. And it's highly worth a conversation with Noah. I highly recommend it. And we haven't even gotten into the other ways that we generate money off the TV commercials, Tony.
Well, let's do that. Let's do that next.
Yeah.
How else do you generate money?
First off, for the people, if you're not licensed, you don't need a real estate license to be a real estate investor, but here's why you want it. Our listings have gone up. So one of our systems is we offer, like I talked earlier, we have 3 ways that we serve our clients. We can buy the property cash, we can list the property, or we can run it through an auction. With the listing and the auction, that's you're going to outsource that to either an agent or an auctioneer, and that's hands off customer service to your client and generating money without doing a damn thing except for making a connection between a distressed seller and someone that can solve their pain. Now, the way the auction works is, and I learned this. I didn't know that everywhere didn't have auctions. Everywhere doesn't have auctions. But the way an auction works is, say we have a house and it auctions for $200,000. Well, there's a 10% buyer premium on top of that, meaning the buyer is going to pay $20,000 on top of the purchase price to buy the house, as is. And you then will split that buyer premium with the auctioneer. So you're making 10 grand for doing nothing but connecting a motivated seller with an auctioneer. We just signed up 3 of those today, as a matter of fact. So we do those every week. So those aren't the big hits, but you're going on the appointment anyway. You might as well monetize it. And if we decide to list, if the house is just in too great a condition, and we just list it, we want to refer it to an agent. We used to take all those on ourselves. My son would tackle those, and I don't recommend it, because remember, the person's calling you because they're in a sticky situation. Even though the house is too nice, it ends up usually being a pain in the ass listing. So I recommend referring those out to another agent at a 60-40 split. So now you're making a 40% of the commission without doing anything except for making a referral base. And if you do this with numerous, you're going to go on a lot of appointments, right? If you do this with multiple agents throughout town and you're building a relationship with all these agents you refer to, in hopes that they'll bring you a deal as well. So we buy them, we have auctions, we do listings, and we do the education, all with the foundation of TV.
Would you say it's safe to say that you pay for your TV ad spend per month just for the referrals to the agents and the auctioneers?
I would say at the end of the year, it averages out. Yeah, it dips down a little bit in the wintertime, but throughout spring and summer, 100%. I would say on average over the year, yeah. Yep.
So you're break even just by doing that alone, right?
Yeah. We just signed up 2 today. One was a little auction. It'll probably go for 50 grand. So that'd be 2,500 bucks. But then the other one, that's going to be 150,000 plus content. So probably about 200. So there's 15 grand off 2 auctions before lunch today. And that takes care of our TV spend.
Dang, that's crazy. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one last thing before we start wrapping it up. So with what we do with our clients, and you can speak to this hopefully, is when we get someone on TV, we bring value that if you didn't even do TV commercials, the amount of money that you invest, we probably can get you back just in the amount of things that we give you for free as being a client, such as the masterminds. So touch on the masterminds real quick. So we have multiple different types of masterminds. Recently joined our pods group, which is a group of between 6 and 10 investors that meet monthly. Just touch on that. Obviously, we've only had a few meetings, but I can tell that you've already getting a lot of value out of it. What can you tell people about the pods masterminds that you're a part of so far?
Got it. So the pods. So I'm a big person on education. I'm always trying to learn from people that are doing so much more than us. Not because I want to do a bazillion more deals, but people that have a little farther on their journey than you are. You can always take something from just by having a conversation, and then you can help them with other things as well. The pods group has got in our pod. It's got people from all over the country. A lot of them in much higher markets when we're at, with a lot more competition. So just by getting on these once a month calls. The way you have it designed, you have it structured very well about how to bring content out that everybody can use. We don't get off one of those calls ever without taking away something we can implement in our business. Last month, it was retargeting. I didn't know what the heck retargeting was. And the gentleman out of Sacramento was sharing about how he uses retargeted marketing. And we're not there yet because we don't really need it, but that'll be the next marketing thing I'd be interested in learning more about and implementing is to retarget on social media, the ads. And every time we get off one of those calls, I learned that you are going to be who you surround yourself with. Now, in my area, I don't have meetups and local masterminds. We are the local authority, right? So connecting with other people is always going to move the needle in the right direction for whatever you're doing with your business.
Yep, absolutely. It's all about who you surround yourself with, and they can connect you with tools and resources. By the way, I can connect you with someone, which is what we love to do because we've been in the business 24 years and we've been able to use really good vendors and weed out the really bad ones.
Yeah.
So if you want someone to do that retargeting for you, it's super inexpensive. When people go to your website because of TV, it'll retarget them with Facebook ads, and you spend a few $100 a month just to retarget those people, just to make sure that
Nice.
if they don't do something on your website, that you're at least staying in front of them. So it's something
Cool.
very cheap and inexpensive. So
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about it. But the groups that you've and the cool thing is that when you're involved with the 10x TV community, I work with and teach newbies just getting started in real estate investing. When they're far enough along on their journey to be investing in TV commercials, you're connected with some people that have been through the gauntlet of building a real estate investing business. So the quality of people that you're connected with surpasses most other communities, I guess I'd say.
yeah, you definitely want to be around people that are doing, and even if they're not doing more than you, I've actually, interesting enough, people say be the dumbest person in the room,
Yeah.
or, whatever they, have whatever. There's multiple sayings for that. But honestly, I've been in a room where I've actually been doing more business than anybody in that room, but I still learn, especially
Yeah.
because like people that are doing a deal a month, they're educating, they're looking for different ways. And then all of a sudden they'll come to a call and they'll be like, "Hey, I just learned about XYZ." And I'm like, "Holy crap, I've been in the business 24 years and I've never heard
Yeah.
about that."
Yeah.
So it's not only just being in the room with people that are doing more than you, but it's just being in the room, period, with people that are doing good things, people that are
Yep.
growing, people that are hungry. So we do give that mastermind for free to our clients. So if what Rick said resonates with you and you want to become the authority in your market, do something that 99% investors are not doing, go to 10xtv.co to apply and see if your market is available. And again, we're going to do a free marketing audit for you. And even if you decide you don't want to do TV right now, book a call with us and find out how you can get into our masterminds. Those by themselves will level up your business and do some crazy things for you. It's one of the things that I started doing like 10 or 11 years ago that allowed me to just scale up, put things in place that I normally wouldn't have, get in the room with people that are thinking way higher level than I am or that I was at the time, and it really levels you up. So, Rick, I appreciate your time. You're such a good dude, man. I just love when people like yourself take something, they run with it. And that's the big thing, right? Is like you've been in the education game for a while. It's like not only do you have to be presented something that you can use and you can monetize, but it's taking it and run with it. So you've taken it, you've utilized the credibility, you're working the deals, you're monetizing every single lead. Dude, you're just absolutely crushing it and the epitome of what a real estate investor should be. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you do for us in the community. Is there any last words that you want to give people? It could be about TV, could be about anything in business. Any last words before we jump off here?
Yeah, a couple things, man. I won't take a lot of your time, but you just nailed like the you've got this systemized, right? And for those that don't know about the book, The E-Myth, this system, if you're thinking about doing TV, don't skim over anything of what Noah and Tony tell you to do on the front end when you start all the way down to the vanity phone number, right? Every little step-by-step checklist that they give you, implement it, and you'll get the results that you're looking for. That's it. Because I'm not a sometimes you get roadblock and you get confused or you confuse yourself. If you literally go through that checklist and be patient, because after you and make that investment, the first 30 days of waiting for your TV to commercial, you start getting excited, right? But stay patient and be ready for that phone to ring after you start implementing what you've learned. And if anybody'd like to connect with me, any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, just Rick Howell, I'd be happy to help you out any way I can. And also we're looking for connect with like-minded people that might be interested in sharing their story on a podcast. So if you feel like helping building your brand and putting yourself out there in front of a few thousand people, let me know. I'd be happy to have you on the podcast.
Awesome. Good stuff. And you did mention something that I forgot to touch on is like, we have a franchise-like system. If you want to open up a fast food restaurant, doing a franchise, they already have the playbook. They already know what works. They've already tried different things. So we've tried many different scripts. We've tried different stations. We've tried different shows. We've tried different formats of commercials. Like, we know what works and can help dial it in. So if you guys are interested in that, go to 10xtv.co. And we look forward to helping you guys in your marketing journey. So thanks again, Rick, and look forward to connecting with many of you that are watching right now. And if you want to join some future case studies or see some other case studies, again, go to tonyjavier.com/case study. Thanks again, Rick. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you. You got it.
All right. See you, man.